so this might make me very unpopular. But I'm gonna do it anyway. The only thing you need to know about this poem is that Stephen Dunn, who's a very old Pulitzer Prize winning poet, makes a cameo in here. And also that I was at an artist colony when I wrote it. So I always feel a little bit just douchey when I read this poem, because I'm like, oh, I was at an artist colony, but I want everybody to know that it took me 15 years of applying there and getting rejected before they let me in. So, tenacity. Too strong is what the announcer dubs Steph Curry's flub shot that bounces diagonally off the backboard. This is Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and Cleveland goes on to defeat the Golden State Warriors, but we don't know this yet because we're still watching the game jammed into an alcove where it's live streaming from someone's laptop onto a wall at an artist colony, since a surprising number of writers and composers and painters are basketball fans. So when the sportscaster reels out descriptions of plays, Nate, the jazz critic, says someone should write a poem called Too Strong, and Stephen Dunn isn't interested, though he's sitting behind me also rooting for the Cavs, saying things like, my goodness, and he's the best closer for his size. You have to give context in your poem, mansplains Nate, who points out that Too Strong is a hyper-masculine way of saying Curry basically just fucked up the shot. It's important to note here that Cleveland hasn't won a championship in any sport since 1964. That's a 52-year curse, in case you're anti-math. I am well versed in the sadness of Cleveland. Skies hanging like lead most of the year. Husks of buildings, smokestacks pumping raw flame over downtown. My husband grew up in the sadness of Cleveland, and we return there every Christmas to more unemployment, more foreclosure, more poverty, more shitty weather. When LeBron left Northeast Ohio, my husband actually burned his replica jersey in the yard. Wouldn't mention his name for 3 long years of anger and mourning. He uses Cleveland sports teams to teach our sons about failure and perseverance, with a heavy emphasis on the failure. But here's LeBron on screen lugging his city's championship dreams like a bag of rocks. Forget Tamir Rice, age 12, gunned down by police for being black, for playing with a toy gun in a park, left to bleed out on a sidewalk. Forget that Cleveland is the poorest city in America other than Detroit. LeBron stuffed this game with thunderous dunks, fadeaway jumpers, and block shots, towing his teammates along in his ferocious wake. And when LeBron goes down in the final minute of the game, writhes on the court in pain after landing on his wrist, we all want him to get up. Even the artists rooting for Golden State. Get up, LeBron. Nothing comes easy to Cleveland. The next morning's paper sports a photo of LeBron embracing power forward Kevin Love next to headlines about Venezuelan food riots, triple-digit temperatures in the West, vigils for victims of the Orlando massacre, and the Colorado woman who fought off a mountain lion attacking her 5-year-old son. Literally reached into the animal's mouth and wrested his head from its jaws. Too strong. In the belly of fear and rust and shame, there is no such thing. To pry open something with your bare hands, look into the gaping maw of the beast that eats your sons. The lion, the bullets, the streets, racist cops, heroin, despair, whatever is most predatory, and say enough. We will triumph, motherfuckers. At the game's end, LeBron and the Cavs coach Tyronn Lue sobbed without shame. I've always been tough and never cried, Lue said. And LeBron at the post-game mic wearing a cut-down net like a necklace says, I came back to bring a championship to our city, to a place we've never been. We've got to get back to Cleveland. We're going home.